Employer. Opportunity Employer.
I bet we only have one commercial today, so we must be live down here at Jana's Marketplace for the Faribault Coaches Show. My name is Royal Ross. I'm with G&H Properties, and I am the D-League co-host of the Coaches Show.
You are the host.
Well, usually Gordy Cosfeld is the man, but Gordy's not with us today, so we're going to have to struggle through it. I've got my sidekick here, Tom Spooner, again. So thanks, Tom. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I wonder what happened to our G&H commercial this morning, but we got shut off there a little bit.
Well, why don't you give us a little summary of G&H Property Management, located in downtown Faribault.
Beautiful
downtown
Faribault, right across the street from the post office. Full-service real estate company specializing in property management, where we manage residential living units, apartments per se, for investors. We manage homeowner associations, townhome and condo associations, and we have a sales and leasing department. So full service. If you're interested in some real estate services, give us a call down at G&H Properties, 507-334-3499.
And a very friendly staff.
Yes. And today we are at Jana's Marketplace again. Jana's been awesome in letting us hold the show down here for this school year, and we definitely appreciate it. She's got some great food, Tom, and I'm going to have some breakfast after this.
Great food. I'm in a hurry today. I got to get going. I'm thinking a caramel roll to hit the road. I think and it's going to be good.
Their caramel rolls are tasty.
Yes,
they are definitely tasty. So we are waiting for a couple of the kids to come back here. But, I came across something this week that I wanted to bring up. It's activity-based, but it's not a sport per se, but the local Rotary Club sponsors a program called STRIVE, which stands for Students Taking Renewed Interest in the Value of Education. So that's kind of a mouthful. And it's a cool thing. Students, they attend 8 classes before school starts.
Wow.
On things such as civics, stress management, personal finance, time management, just basically grown-up things, things that you just need to know how to do. And these 13 students did it, and at the end of the program, they split up $16,500 in scholarships.
Wow, that's awesome.
So my question to you, Tom, is who are you more impressed with? The Rotary Club for putting together and organizing and running the scholarship program for STRIVE, or the students that get up and go to school an hour early?
It's easy. It's the kids that get up an hour early.
That's what I was
dedicated to learning things about life and learning how to balance a checkbook and all those things and get credit cards and loan applications. That's what we like to see in young kids.
Credit applications. Yeah, that's what we like to see in the youngsters. Get out there and fill out those credit applications.
Absolutely.
So, no, I feel the same way. I'm more impressed with the students than I am the club, but hats off to Rotary for doing a great service here. Wrap up the boys basketball season, the Falcon boys basketball. Now, just as a recap, they beat Austin at home in the quarterfinal round of the section playoffs, but they were rewarded by going to number 3 Stewartville. For the 3rd year in a row, they had to play number 1 Stewartville, and it didn't go so well in that particular game. So the boys basketball team, their season is done, but they had a good season by our standards here. They finished 13-14, so just one game below 500, and that's the most wins they've had in 7 years. So congratulations to the boys basketball. And the thing about it is they are very strong sophomore and junior classes. So I'm optimistic. They're set up for next year to break that 500 record and get going. But Mohammed Mady, he's a junior guard. He was a unanimous selection for Big 9 All-Conference. And Ryan Krieger, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Ryan. He's a sophomore, and he was All-Conference honorable mention. So,
well, congratulations to those two.
Good job, gentlemen. Way to go! And I look forward to next year. I think it's going to be some.
So the future's bright when you got a good young class, people coming up, and as they mature and get toward that senior class, they can hopefully improve on that record.
Yep. Well, we did talk a little bit about Spike Fest last week, so we'll bring in one of the organizers of Spike Fest. Again, as a recap, Spike Fest is a charity volleyball tournament that's put on here in Faribault in March. It's been going for 13 years, and what it does is it raises funds for the Tommy Allen Scholarship. And what the Tommy Allen Scholarship Fund does is it provides helps with money for kids to play sports. So in other words, there's a fee charge that all the kids have to pay to play football, basketball, all the sports basically. Or I bet they probably do it for activities too. Whether I'm not sure on that, but probably. And so anyway, these funds are very important because they help get kids into activities that may otherwise not get to play. So Mike Jarvis, one of the organizers of the event here, it's Mike Jarvis and Chris Willock. Mike was kind enough to donate some time today to come in. Got up early today, huh, Mike?
Yep.
Otherwise, he'd be sleeping in, folks. But
he's going to be rewarded with a nice breakfast at Jana's.
Yep. He's going to have a nice breakfast at Jana's here. So
Royal's treat, right?
What's that?
Royal's treat, right?
That's Royal's treat.
Yeah. How did I get roped into this? But anyway, yes, the 13th annual Spike Fest just concluded last weekend.
Yep.
It was, and had a great number of teams. I believe it was, how many teams?
We had 36 teams.
36 teams. 18 on Saturday, 18 on Sunday, correct? Saturday was the women's, and Sunday was the co-ed.
Yep.
All right. So, how did it go? Give us the recap.
Overall, it went very well again. We had a great turnout, like we said. We raised almost over $5,400 for the scholarship fund. We had teams travel from across the state again, and we had one come from Iowa this year. So we have a lot of continued success with bringing big teams throughout the state of Minnesota down to Faribault to play for the weekend.
Yeah, and if I understand correctly, the competition in this tournament is even considered better than the state tournament. Is that right?
Yes, it is. And I've played in many of the state tournaments, and it just gets better and better every year. I know last year when I did a down ref for the championship game, I got done and I looked at a couple of teams and I said, I know you guys have been in this before, but does it seem like it was the championship for the upper bracket 4 or 5 years ago? And they both agreed, and it just gets better and better and better.
Well, that's great. So 13 years, and I think you guys have amassed over almost $50,000 in donations to the Tommy Allen.
Yep, it's got to be close to that.
Got to be close to about 50,000.
Yep.
Like Mike said, it was 5,400 this year. So that's just incredible. I think you guys should definitely be proud of that.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoy doing it. It's just a great tournament.
Yeah, a lot of fun, and
I rather play in it, but sitting on the sidelines this year.
You've played in it for many years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it's awesome too. It shows what kind of things we have in the community, that you're bringing in all these teams from out of town. They're staying in local motels.
Yep.
Just a simple economic impact that we have here in town. This happens a lot. Hockey tournaments, basketball tournaments, Spike Fest, everything.
Yep.
It shows that people are coming to Faribault and spending their dollars here.
Yeah, and like I said, where they're coming from, like the women's, we had our first place team was from Mankato. We had a Faribault team take second place, and in our women's, we had Lake Mills, Iowa team. We had Minneapolis as our second place team. In our upper for co-ed, it was Burnsville and Minneapolis that represented the upper bracket. And in the lower bracket was Burnsville, and I got to take a little pride in this. Faribault team that I play on with the guys, they took second in the lower bracket. So
good job.
That's awesome.
I mean, we just get them from everywhere, and I can't believe they come down, and we give T-shirts and volleyballs, and the most important thing that people talk about is the competitive level of play, and that's what they enjoy about it.
Yep. Well, that's pretty cool.
It's impressive because it's a sport I retired from several years ago, Royal.
You used to play?
Well, a little bit.
You got the height. You got the height for it.
But I have no vertical.
No.
No vertical. I don't jump real well.
Well, back in the day, could you at least get both feet off the ground?
Yes, little bit.
Okay, so you did get off the ground a hair, but
Little bit.
all right. Well, you got the height, so you didn't need quite as much vertical as other people. But well, Mike, congratulations to you and Chris, and thanks for running that tournament, and thanks for donating to the Tommy Allen Scholarship Fund.
And if you don't mind me, let me doing a quick thank you to all of our volunteers that helped out. Not only sponsors to Culligan, Joe's Cafe for providing food and setting up specials for the teams to come out. The people that refed for us for the tournament, and then all those people that came out, and even in the past, to help set up and get us ready for the tournament. That we couldn't do it without those guys.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that put their time and effort and
Lots of
talents
volunteers.
and treasures into this. So it's a pretty cool event, and I hope it can keep going another 15 years.
Well, yeah. Well, Chris did say he wants to move on to big and better things for the tournament. So
Wow.
yeah, we'll have to.
Does he have any?
We'll just kind of keep you at that.
You're not going to tell us any future plans?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
But we're looking possibly in the fall to put out dates for next year. I think we've got our date picked out that we wanna. It'll be close to the same date as this year. So just gotta wait and see.
Now you've already got with the number of teams you had, you were playing matches at both the community center and the armory.
Yep.
So do we have the capacity to get bigger? The court capacity, I'm saying.
If we did, we would have to use the senior high or middle school. That's something that we kind of talked about, but cost is a big factor in it.
Yeah.
You know,
Washington Rec Center, do they have volleyball set up there?
they've got an old tiled floor, which would be tough to play. The nice thing
Oh,
about
it's not
the
a wood
armory,
floor? Okay.
no,
Okay.
it's the armory's got the sport court floor.
Yeah,
So,
that's
players like
obviously
playing
the
on that.
best. Yeah. So, all right. Well,
All right.
thanks, Mike.
Well,
And
thanks
I
again,
guess
guys.
you can just leave us hanging there, and next maybe this fall or next spring you can give us another update.
All right, sounds good. Thanks,
Stop
guys.
back anytime.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, Tom. We got a special guest here today.
We do.
We're going to talk about a sport that, as far as I know, we've never talked about on the Faribault Coaches Show. So, come on up here. What's your name?
My name's Joseph Kunze.
Joseph Kunze?
Yep.
Kunze. All right, Joseph. What? How old are you?
I'm 18.
18?
Yep.
In high school or out?
Yeah, I go to BA.
Okay. Senior, I assume?
Yep.
All right. And what sport do you play?
I play rugby.
Rugby. Have you ever played rugby,
Never.
Tom?
And I've seen it on TV, buddy, and it's a sport not for you and I. I'm telling you what. This is a tough young man here. I'll tell you that.
Yep. So, it's the Boak Spring Rugby Club, correct?
Box Springs.
Box
Rugby
Spring.
Club,
Okay.
yep.
Okay. Tell us about it. I have a feeling this is probably a sport and a team that we don't know a lot about, and so tell us about it.
It's been a team that's been around a long time, but it's slowly re-emerging now.
Okay.
So just a few years ago, we only had 3 members, and now we're at 30 plus.
Kind of tough to play a rugby game with 3 people, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? Have one referee and 2 opposing people?
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah. So it's kind of describe the sport. It's a little bit like football
Yep.
in that you have an odd-shaped oblong ball,
Yeah.
similar to a football, but bigger, I think, and not kind of as round and
Yeah.
uniform. It's
just
bigger.
a big oval, basically.
Yeah. And then the idea is, like in football, to cross that ball over the goal line.
Yeah.
But what's different is that you don't actually run plays and stuff. It's more spontaneous,
Just
correct?
keep going.
Yep.
It's kind of like a mix between soccer and football at
Yep.
the same time.
And you can't advance. You can't throw the ball down the field, correct?
Yep. No, I mean,
All
has to go
ball
behind
movement
you.
has to be lateral
Yep.
behind you, right? Got it. All right. How does the scoring system work?
So it's called tries, and basically just like football, there's like a end zone,
Yep.
and just when you get back there, you have to touch the ball on the ground.
Oh, you touch the ball on the ground, so
Yep.
you don't have to. It's not like football where you cross a goal line. It's you actually
You
have
gotta
to.
get down on the ground and touch it, the ball.
The ball touches the ground. Okay. And how many points is that worth?
I'm pretty sure it's only 3. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's still my first year, so
That's
I'm not
okay.
super
That's okay. And then they also, you can also kick the ball through the goal post per se, and you get points that way too,
Yeah.
right?
It's just a little harder because you have to let the ball bounce first and then kick it in.
Oh, okay. So you got to do like a drop kick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any penalties? I mean, it's like a rough and tumble sport where they never call anything.
There's definitely a lot of penalties. It's just quick going. So even if there is a penalty, it just keeps going. Like, you just stop the ball quickly, the other team gets the ball.
So there's no instant replay up in the booth
No.
by the rules officials. That I like. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. I mean, does the clock even stop in this? Because it is a timed sport, right?
Yeah, it's a timed sport, but I don't think the clock stops really at all until somebody gets a try.
Okay. And then it stops, and
At, like, a
everybody
halftime.
goes back
Yep.
to the middle and starts over again. Mm-hmm. And describe for us what a scrum is.
So scrum is when opposing teams, like the big people, maybe I think 6 people, go face to face, and it's basically like the line of our sport, where then the scrum half, which is the role I play, throws the ball under and they both fight, kicking with their feet to get the ball to their side.
Okay. So they're pushing against each other, kind of up in the shoulder area, but they're also at the same time trying to kick the ball to their teammates.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. And what did you say your position was?
I play the scrum half.
Scrum half?
Yep. So I stand on the outside and throw the ball in, or go against the other scrum half
Okay.
and just play off of them.
And so you're kind of on the outskirts there, where you're ready to catch the ball or pick up the ball.
Yeah, I'm
and
ready to
Are you
hit the
fast?
Well, I'm working on it. The cardio's a little rough right now, so I gotta get to work.
And
Do you wear any pads? Anything? No.
Sometimes
no
you can
helmets?
wear
No
scrum.
nothing?
Some people wear scrum caps, but that's the only protection you have. And that's just a lightly padded helmet.
Huh. Now, in football, you see all the linemen, which is somewhat comparable to your scrum, your front line of your scrum. You see all the linemen; they're all wearing metal knee braces and stuff.
Yeah.
No knee braces in this game, is there?
Some people wear some knee braces, but generally people don't.
Yeah.
It's typically safer in rugby to tackle just because everybody's like more relevant, or it's more relevant that you can get hurt easier.
You know, I've always said that about football, is that I predict there would be far less injuries in football if they took the helmet and all the pads away.
You are correct.
You know, because then people wouldn't be so willing to hit as hard and tackle as hard. But, you know, those pads and helmet, that kind of gives you a false sense of security, doesn't it?
Yeah, because there's still more injuries in football than that, because people just dive at each other.
Yeah. Well, and also, there's very little hard hitting in rugby. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's, I mean, once in a while a guy will get a breakout run going, but he's going to be tackled from behind then, more than likely.
Yeah.
It's not like in football where a guy's running, a receiver or something is running on the field with the ball, and somebody is coming forward to him and hits him as hard as they can. Rugby is a little bit more of a chase sport, isn't it?
It's so the way rugby works on defense is you stay in a line. So they are in front of you, and you're kind of running at the line and making plays to get around them. But if you do get on a breakaway, it's just a mad sprint to get them.
Yeah. And it's like I said, you're kind of running behind them. You're chasing them. So, yeah. Well, I know this club has been around Faribault for decades. I mean, it's I think it goes back into the 30s or so. Not 1930s. Goes back about 30 years is what I was meaning to say. And do they still have pictures of rugby players up at Boxers? You know?
I don't know if they have it there, but we do have picture frames of just really old photos and everything like that wherever we go.
Very cool. And are those displayed anywhere? Or?
I don't think so, but we did have a banquet and we just displayed it there and everything like that.
Okay. Yeah, because I know in the back room at Boxers, they got that little, separate party room.
Yep.
They at least used to have framed pictures of different players from the Box Spring Rugby Club. And it was always pretty interesting. And I know, like I said, those pictures go back 30 years, I think. So it's a very cool thing. What is the season?
The season really lasts until like October, from spring to October.
Okay, so are you guys practicing now?
Yep, we just started practice last week.
Just started practicing. And is this your first year?
It's my first year. I was
Okay.
around last year doing some practices, but this year I'm officially playing.
Okay, great.
What age group is involved in that?
17 and up can play.
Yeah,
Everybody. We
okay.
have like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, good God, 50-year-olds?
Can you imagine us out
No,
there?
no.
Boy.
And where do you play?
We play at Teepee Tonka. We play for practice Teepee Tonka, Maple Lawn.
Okay.
And for games, we host them at Teepee Tonka, or we just travel to like lots of different places for tournaments or just
Okay.
a friendly match.
Is your schedule posted in publicly anywhere so people can come down in the park and watch you?
Usually on Facebook and Instagram. It's just social media platforms.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So Box Spring, and it's BOK.
BOKSPRINGS.
Yep, just like it phonetically sounds, Box
Yeah.
Spring, BOKSPRING Rugby Club. So yeah, check it out on Facebook and check out the schedule. It'd be fun to go down there and watch them sometime.
Did you play any other sports when you were in high school?
I played football for VA.
Sure.
Okay.
But, yeah. And rugby, just anybody can play. Just come down and play. Just make friends and do whatever you want.
Not a lot of girls in this, is there?
No, I mean,
Is it a men-only sport? I mean, could a female play?
I don't think for this league, but there's definitely women's leagues out there.
Yeah. Okay.
What position did you play in football?
I was a lineman. I was
Okay.
right guard.
So
You know what it's like.
Yeah. Some, you got a little bit of a related experience here from the football season. So your first year, what do you think of it? Are you really liking it, or?
I feel like it's just a lot easier to make friends because there's a sense of community that's
Okay.
really welcoming.
Wow.
Good.
And you said there's about 30 people and broad range of ages. I'm impressed. If there's
I think
people 40 and 50 years old out
I
there.
think we're going to have to get out and watch a game.
I think this would be great. I mean, and it's in a park.
Yes.
Take a lawn chair out there and a can of Coke or something,
Do
and
that.
make a day of it.
And even after, sometimes like we hold just a banquet or at
Okay.
the park, we just grill and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Food.
yeah. Any big rivalries you can tell us about? I mean, does the Faribault team have a strong rivalry with somebody?
I don't really think so. We just have a lot of friendly clubs with us, but I think there's a team called Mayhem that we play with a lot.
Mayhem?
That's from St. Paul, Minneapolis, just from the Metro.
Mayhem. I like that team name. I like that. I'm guessing they might be a newer team since with the name Mayhem, taking off on the insurance commercials. But I wonder if I assume that's where it came from. I mean, but that's really cool. So, well, thanks for educating us a little bit about the sport of rugby, and I'm going to check out that Facebook page and find out when the games are, and I want to come out and watch.
I think so. I think we should do it.
Absolutely.
We could have one Saturday morning. We could broadcast live from Teepee Tonka Park.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
I really appreciate it. Do you want to go see if Leah wants to come back?
Yeah.
I know
I'll
she
go
isn't
check.
very excited about it, but ask her if she would.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks again.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. I couldn't play rugby. I
No, I've seen it on television, and there's no way.
Yeah.
You got to be in shape, and that's a lot of
Yeah.
collision there.
Yeah, a lot of collision. Yeah. Just.
So
Oh, and those scrums, you get in there and you watch those scrums on TV, and I mean, they're poking and gouging, and it's not for the faint of heart, I don't think.
I think there's a real, for these club guys here in the state of Minnesota, I think there's a real social aspect of what he hit on. I remember several years ago they had a few matches here in town one day, and they ended up at one of the local establishments that both teams were having fun.
Yeah,
It was,
I'm sure.
both teams, the guys from out of town, were fun guys, enjoyable to talk to. It was really a good time.
Yeah. Well, and it's somewhat like a lot of the other combat sports per se is, that opposing people get out there and they beat the heck out of each other for an hour or so, and then they're all best friends.
Yeah, and it's really a niche sport where they don't have a lot of people watching them. So
Yeah, there's no stands down at TV Tanga Park, so I wonder how we're gonna, we'll be able to see much. But I'm gonna watch a game. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So, So what do you got coming up and facing you this week, Tom?
I don't have a whole lot this week here. I'm going to miss you next week. I have to go out of town for a little bit.
I still think that's allowed.
Well, you're going to have, we got a couple guests.
We'll persevere. As far as I know, I'll be here, so we'll persevere. But
if I could get in one plug here before we end today.
Absolutely.
I was sitting at home the other night. I was actually on a Zoom meeting, and I had a young gentleman from the Faribault Falcons baseball team come around and selling a card that's got over 45 coupons for $5 off, buy one, get one here at local restaurants and whatnot. These kids that are out there doing these fundraisers, if they're knocking on your door and you know somebody, please buy one. $25, and you're going to easily get hundreds of dollars back in return.
Yeah.
All the sports nowadays have to fundraise. It's like we talk about with raising money for Tommy Allen and registration fees. So any sport out there, please help out a little bit. It's for the kids.
Yep, absolutely. It's for the children.
For the kids.
Yep. So and I fully agree. I always buy those cards when they come around, and like you said, every team has to fundraise because, well, quite honestly, it's just expensive to compete in sports these days.
It's very expensive.
Yeah. So I have a couple of things going for next weekend. I'm hoping to have a member or two of the swim and dive team, the Faribault swim and dive team that just they sent 5 people to state, and I hope to have 1 or 2 of them at least down here. And then I'm also working on a wrestling wrap-up for the season. And then, of course, now the spring sports start. So I've been talking to Jeff Anderson, the coach of the tennis team. Both of them. Boys tennis is a fall sport. And I think I'll be able to get Jeff out here. The only problem is a lot of Saturdays they play tennis. So I don't know what Jeff's availability will be, but what we need to do is find out if Ed Friesen's coaching anything for a spring sport. Then get Ed back here because he's always entertaining and he's a heck of a guy. We certainly appreciate Ed. So what are you thinking now? Let's talk Jana's Marketplace. Let's talk important stuff like food, breakfast.
And I'm hungry too this morning, Raul, so this is not a good idea because I could order just about everything on the menu out there.
I'm thinking classic today, some eggs, toast, hash browns, and probably some sausage. I'm going to go traditional and classic today. But folks, come on down here to Jana's Marketplace, grab a hot meal to go, or grab a hot meal here, eat it here, and then grab a prepackaged meal to go. And you can heat them up at your office or at your home, 2-3 minutes in the microwave, and you've got a great meal. Perfectly portioned, and it's fresh. They make them right here in Jana's kitchen. So, it's not something that was made in a factory 1,000 miles away and then shipped in, and it's been sitting in the container for 2 weeks before you can get to the store. These are packaged fresh on a daily basis, and they rotate the stock quite often. They probably sell out, so I don't think there's much rotating. I think they just sell out and
have to do that.
They reload. So, folks, come on down here to Jana's Marketplace and grab a meal. And they've also got some little gifts ideas from what Jana used to have, finally a gift store, and she's kind of moved that over here to Jana's Marketplace. So you've got little gifts, trinkets, things like that. And then they've also got some really special food items. Like they have some wonderful desserts. I check out those desserts every week. I'm kind of a dessert guy.
And we notice.
Yeah. I'm not getting any smaller, I guess, but no. Well, Tom, we only have about a half a minute here, so I certainly appreciate you coming out and giving me a half hour of your time on Saturday morning. And I know the listeners appreciate it too, because I hear it all the time. Just Royal, you got to talk less and have Tom talk more.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I'll be listening from northern Minnesota next weekend.
All right, kids, you can listen on the app. So you can listen from anywhere in the world where there is internet service. You can listen on the app. So once again, this is a Faribault Coaches Show. I'm Royal Ross. Tom Spooner's my son.
All the latest